Damn it, Ace. I knew this one was trouble, I knew it. Better than he'd like. Back in the day, the General was the craziest of us all. But somehow, after he brought down Base Cochise, he became the sanest. Now he's running the whole show, and doing a damn fine job. While I'm still walking patrols and answering radio calls. Shows you how much ambition I got, huh?
I wonder what happens if you accept a
Sorry,
transport and then
but
you
you are.
abandon it. Like, hey guys, all I gotta
As
do is
cute as
just
little
drop
kittens.
them off on the planet.
Y'all remind me of us. Snake, Razor, Thrasher, and me. Back when we were just starting out. Thinking we were gonna save the world for the future. Thinking none of us would ever die. Christ, sorry. Don't listen to me. Youth is good. Optimism is good. If we all started out worn out and jaded like me, nobody'd ever try to change the world. So you kids go ahead and give it a go. Maybe it'll work this time.
Wow. So you have Ace's name tattooed on that heart on you.
You noticed that, huh? Well, Ace always
Oh, are you
said
getting
I
your
wore
first
my heart
character?
on my sleeve.
I guess.
Yeah, me and Ace. We were more than just old army buddies, if you know what I mean. That's why it hurts so bad. That's why I want to come with you.
We were more than just old army buddies, if you know what I mean.
No? Can you please elaborate?
Where is Quartz?
Man, not sure I can recall. Haven't been out that way in ages. Don't even know if it's still on the map. Ask Thrasher, he'd know.
Okay. Your thoughts? You thought Ace's mission was trouble.
He was working on the same thing Vargas has you working on. Trying to track down radio signals from beyond the edges of the map. All seemed a bit boring and scientific to me. But then Ace started saying he thought someone was following him. I asked him to let me come with him when I met him at Rail Nomads to give him the repeater units. But he told me to go back to base. He said he was just jumping at shadows because those radio broadcasts had spooked him. I should have gone with him. Why didn't I go with him?
What was Base Cochise?
An old military facility from before the war. And the biggest fight
what?
I've ever had. There was some crazy computer in there that kept spitting out robots and sending them off to kill people. We had one hell of a fight putting it down. Earned our stripes that day. Literally. That's when I became Captain Death.
Man, every time I talk to her, she gives me like 12 more things to ask her. General Vargas used to be called Snake.
Well, like I said, he was one wild-ass son of a bitch back in the day. But I think the weight of his responsibilities has kind of squashed that out of him now. He hasn't been in a decent bar fight in, shit, a decade maybe? He's another one gone. Went out for a patrol a few weeks back and never came home. Don't know if he's dead or AWOL or gone off to join the Scorpions. All anybody knows is he hasn't called in, and we haven't heard from anybody who's seen him. I miss old Hellraiser like blazes. Didn't talk much. Didn't make friends easy. Wasn't big on social graces. But he was as loyal as they come. And when the shit started flying, he was the guy you wanted at your back. He didn't win that name by accident. Sharp as a razor. Scary as hell.
Where's Thrasher?
You better call him Gilbert now. Funny, back in the day, he just seemed like this big old growly bear. Strong as an ox and just about as articulate. But then he got all torn up during our fight with the robots from Base Cochise, and he couldn't go out on patrol no more. Any other commander would have handed him his walking papers, but Vargas doesn't dump old friends. So he started him working in the museum. And once you know it, turns out the old bear has a
Oh, that
knack
was
for
fun.
photography. He's been gradually mapping our little corner of the wasteland ever since. Who'd have thunk it?
Tell me about Real Nomad.
Could be a nice little place if the Atchisons and Topekans would kiss and make up. I can't even remember what it's all about, but between them, they got enough old railroad tech that if they worked together, they could give this area a real transportation system. Instead, it seems like all they want to do is blow each other's heads off. Idiots.
Alright, know any more about these repeater units?
I don't really know the details. It's all a bunch of mumbo-jumbo about transmitters and north-south axis and signals bouncing off the clouds. Ask Woodson about it. He's our radio genius.
You heard any of these strange broadcasts?
Ace played me some of them before he died. Hard to make out a lot of it, but what I heard made my hair stand on end. Some guy talking about turning men into machines. Or machines into men, or some shit. But the crazy thing was, then he starts talking about us, the Rangers. Saying we're the cause of all the trouble in the world, and we need to be wiped out so his glory...
Oh, I guess you can, like, bribe the pirates to leave you alone.
Who is this guy? Where is he? What the fuck does he have against us?
Computer was making
Yeah.
robots.
The base Cochise AI. Don't know what was wrong with it. Broken, I guess. It thought everybody was its enemy. Wanted to kill the whole planet.
Oh fuck, so a computer was making robots to kill people?
Mm-hmm.
Red Scorpions.
You weren't briefed on those fucks during your training? Well, let me fill you in. You know when we left the prison and moved here to the Citadel? Well, the Scorpions were the jerks who moved into the prison when we moved out. Just a bunch of Rangers back then, but they've been getting more organized. Call themselves a militia now, and they try to act like they're the Desert Rangers of Eastern Arizona. Well, that's a load of horse shit. Protection racket ain't the same as protecting people. They shake down all their towns for money, and if the locals don't kick in, they smash them up. The Rangers aren't like that. We get by on donations and good old-fashioned scavenging.
You know Woodson.
Radio technician Wade Woodson? Sure do. He's the guy that makes sure you can hear Vargas when you're out on patrol. Keeps the machines running and the signal clear. He'll also talk your ear off about circuits and frequencies and I don't know what else if you let him. But be nice to him. He's your lifeline to the base.
What can you tell us about Houston?
Basically everything between the prison and the radiation clouds to the east. There are a few small towns and farms out there, which the Scorpions claim is their territory. Rangers used to patrol that area before we moved here, and we knew it pretty well. But a lot can change in 15 years. Who knows? Maybe it's all as clean and nice and crime-free as the Scorpions say it is. But I've got my doubts.
Radiation clouds?
The edges of the map, kiddies. Big hot areas we can't get into without getting cooked to a crisp. The clouds move around some with the wind and the weather, but there are permanent hot spots on every side of us. North, south, east, and west. Until we started hearing those weird broadcasts, I kinda thought those clouds went on forever. And that Arizona was the last place on Earth. But maybe there's more people out there. Maybe the whole rest of the world's just fine, and we're the only ones in hell. Wouldn't that be a joke?
Jesus. Alright. Done talking to you.
Say, listen. Vargas asked you to look into Ace's death because he thought I was
she,
too upset to be
join you or
professional
anything?
about it. He didn't want me going off half-cocked and shooting up all of Arizona looking for his killer. But I gotta find this guy. Ace and me, well, we'd been fighting side by side for nigh on 20 years. I'm not letting him die unavenged. So, well, I know it's going against orders, but if you let me tag along and be in at the kill, well, I'll help you find your feet out there. Maybe give you a few pointers along the way. I may be old and slow, but I know the wastes like the back of my hand. What do you say?
Okay. Well, I don't know why I wouldn't want her to come with me, right?
Yeah, she's...
Another person to help.
From what I was reading, she was like, one of the characters you're gonna end up, like, keeping for a long
No need to
time.
tell Vargas why I joined you. If anybody asks, I'm just helping you get oriented, all right?
Don't tell him why I'm here. I know. There's a wrench. Oh, Ace's wrench. How would I put that as her secondary? It's weird. Be there.
Hmm?
Nothing. Okay. So have I explored everything? I think I have. come across people willing to join your squad. Patrolman customize just like your ranger. The main personality characteristics of the ranger.
Hmm.
Alright. All squad. Okay, so all of my jokes, I have 160 bucks. Buckaroos.
And you're gonna go sleep.
Total for 200.
Yeah, she is, because she's a higher level than you.
Ranger Team Echo, this is Ranger Command. Come in.
This is Ranger Team Echo.
Roger, Echo 1. Just making sure your radio is working. I'll be your dispatcher from here on out. I also wanted to give you a little heads up on your water situation. If you've all got full canteens, you should have enough water to reach the place where Ace died with plenty to spare. But if you're going to go exploring, you'll want to fill up again at any oasis you can find.
Okay.
Remember, your main priority is to recover the repeater units Ace was carrying. Once you've got the devices, you'll be headed to Ag Center and High Pool to install them. But we'll talk about that after you acquire the repeaters. We must, of course, bring Ace's killers to justice. But right now, that's secondary to discovering the location of that signal.
Okay, so it's important to stay in radio contact.
It is vital that all teams stay in radio contact with me here at the base.
That's how you save, I
Get
think.
distress calls from
That's
all
what they're
over our
telling you.
jurisdiction and sometimes beyond. Towns or farms or mines being attacked by raiders, mutant beasts, what have you. We field those calls here and then dispatch whichever team is closest to the problem.
Does that mean you weren't always the dispatcher?
Until now, Woodson's been our dispatcher. But Ace's death made me realize I've spent too many years in my office, walled off from the world and how it's changing. I need to know what's going on out there, and I figure the best way to do that is to start listening to the people's problems. So, I've decided that from now on, I'll be the one fielding calls and talking in your ear when you head out into the wastes. Don't let that make you self-conscious or nothing.
Okay.
10-4, Echo 1, carry on. Ranger Command out.
Oh, okay, it costs like water to travel. Oh, this is crazy.
You'll get the hang of it pretty easy.
Okay, so water is a priority. We should go to the bottom right hand corner of the screen for water indicator. That's 60 of 60
Yep.
water. Running out of water is very bad.
Hmm? Radiation water is very bad, that's what it says.
Running out of water.
Oh yeah.